Hey everybody, I wanted to do a quick demo on our CRM. It's on the foundation of Go High Level, which is a platform that allows you to build and customize lots of different things. We are called Techflow Pros, and I've been customizing CRMs for about 8 years. It's always been in the real estate space. I started out with Podio, did lots of customations on Podio. I went to Salesforce, left Main, completely customized out that CRM. Then I moved into Zoho CRM, which was a really good one. I really like Zoho if you need something a lot more detailed for reporting and data organization, but I chose to move over to this Go High Level platform and create Techflow Pros CRM because the most important thing for us in our real estate business and for most people is speed to lead. You got to be the first one to get back to people. If you're running Google Ads, anything online, those people, they just go down the list. They go right to your competition. You got to be picking up the phone live. You got to be having AI chat with them. You got to be sending them text messages within 60 seconds. I mean, I can't stress enough, if you don't already know that part, that is the most important thing. You could have the best CRM in the world to aggregate all of your data, but if you're not handling those new leads, you're missing out on a lot of opportunity. So the powerhouse of what this does is it gets to your leads very, very quickly. A phone call comes in, a form comes in, then they're getting a text message, you're getting a text message letting you know that the lead came in. We can send out AI voice calling if we want to. We can send them a ringless voicemail. We're getting to them as quickly as possible. And right now, like, that's where your money's made. There may be certain parts of this when you start using it, you're like, man, I wish I could do this or that with my data. I pretty much have a solution for anything, though I can create a workaround. But where the power of this is speed to lead, getting those leads to say yes or maybe I want to sell, and for you being the solution. So when you log in, you have your dashboard. You can track KPIs here. It is a pretty basic dashboard, and I have a solution if you needed something more advanced. You can see a quick view of your tasks. We have manual actions, but it's a pretty good dashboard. So moving on, you have conversations, calendars, contacts, and opportunities. This is the main area of buttons that you'll need to use. And really the two is just contacts and opportunities. You create a contact, and then a property is an opportunity. You push the property down a pipeline, and you're trying to get it to closing. That's our goal, right? So some CRMs are task-based. You go check off your task, you do what you need to do, you go to your next task. This has the ability to have tasks in it, but it's not task-based, which means its power is utilizing pipelines. Pipeline tells you where you're starting and where you want to go. It's a very visual representation of your sales, and in all the new CRMs, pipelines are more popular. I've enjoyed going to pipeline views and being less task-based because it's just visually appealing when you can drag something down a pipeline and know that you're getting closer to the finish line. So we break down our pipelines. We have multiple different ones. You can have unlimited pipelines. So really for us, it's a point of focus. We want to focus on new leads. And then once they've said yes or maybe, then we want to focus on getting them to sign a contract. And then we need to focus on the disposition of finding a buyer. And then we need to focus on closing the deal where the buyer and the seller come together. So each one of those pipelines, you can think of them as almost like KPIs. Like, once you've got the contract signed, like that's a winning, that's an achievement. Once you get a buyer contract signed, that's an achievement. Once you get the deal closed, that's an achievement. So it breaks down points of focus. If you had everything in one giant pipeline, then you just kind of lose focus. And if you have teams, if you have disposition, acquisition, you have multiple employees, it helps them stay in their space of where they need to be so they can focus until it gets to the next team or next department. If you don't have a big team, it's still okay. It keeps you focused on what you need to be doing and what's right in front of you. What's the most important? New leads. What's second most important? Getting a seller to get a seller to sign a contract. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. get a buyer to sign a contract. So all these things are broken down so that you can very easily see, what do I need to do today to make money? So leads come in, you have your contacts here, you got all your regular contact information. You click in there, you're going to have your name, email, phone number. You can create all sorts of custom fields about the contact if you want to, where you can store additional information. You can collapse them so that it's nicely, add tags. Here's where you add the opportunity to the contact. We're going to jump into opportunities over here. So just to show you kind of what my pipelines look like, here's all my pipelines right here. New lead, seller, buyer, interested buyer. We can keep track of all the buyers that were interested, whether they buy it or not. We can always go back and say, hey, we had a lot of people interested in this property in such and such city. We can go back and track that data. So when a lead comes in, they go here, and this is where a lot of automations fire off. Our guy comes in here, calls them, texts them. They go to attempt 1, 2, 3, and if they're uncontacted and we can't reach them, they go to our uncontacted drip. And the uncontacted drip is going to send them text messages. It's going to send them ringless voicemails, and it's going to schedule a manual call for us to also call them, so that we're just hitting them twice a day for the first day, and then every day for 10 days, we're trying to get back in touch with that person as quickly as we can. Once we've got a response from them, if they text us back here or answer to us anyway, they actually automatically go with automations on the back end to this responded stage. So my sales guy knows that he needs to check his new leads and his responded as soon as he gets in the morning. And these are the two most important. These are your hottest things. And then he can move on to his lead follow-up. And then once they've responded and they want an appointment, they go out of this pipeline, which again is an area focus, into our seller pipeline. And then they worked all the way down the seller pipeline until we close them. But we also have a buyer pipeline where we're finding the buyers. And once we've found the buyer, then it gets pushed into here at the closing stages so that we can close them both together. So again, these are areas of focus. Once we get the leads to answer yes or maybe, they go and we work them, we make the appointment, make the offer, get the contract signed. Yes, this has a basic built-in contract signing ability that we have set up. And then, title problems, clear, close. So really, you're just tracking every single step of the way. So instead of, when I say some CRMs were task-based, some people set a task for everything. You can still set tasks. You have tasks right here, add task. You can have the ability to call the contact directly here, view your conversations, tags, notes. So you got all these little shortcut buttons right here. But our team doesn't set as many tasks anymore. They know when they come to the pipeline, they can say, hey, look, I made an offer, and what do I need to do next? Like, we need to do something to these people today. We have this many appointments booked. We have a contract signed. That means, or we have pending contract. What do we need to do to get this contract signed? So these are our tasks. We need to push them down the pipeline. Super important. So lots of automations on the back end. If they go stagnant in the seller pipeline, so the seller pipeline means, hey, look, we're doing something to these today to push them down the line. If they go stagnant, they go to a new pipeline called follow-up. So get them out of sight, out of mind for a little while. Again, area of focus, right? We want to know exactly what we should be doing. We break it down into pipelines. Our follow-up pipeline has our warm and cold follow-ups. And again, we have these drip sections here. A cold, bad timing drip is somebody who says, hey, look, I do want to sell, it's just not the right time. Or maybe they want to make repairs on the house. They go in here, they get a text message in 30 days, and then after that, they get texts and voice drops every 2 months. So it's very soft touches, and it just is simply, hey, look, we're buying this week, just keep us in mind when you're ready. And by the way, if you know anybody wanting to sell, we'll also give a referral of $500 to $1,000 to you as well. So just keep us in mind. So lots of automations like that on the back end really helps our guys save time. We've spent so much time on follow-ups, and now I'm working with AI. We have an AI caller taking inbound calls 24/7. It's super cheap, and we have an AI caller that can make outbound calls, cold leads, or even make follow-up calls for us. And we have scripts for the AI caller. We can use ChatGPT chatbots. This system can connect with Google Sheets if you want to get data out. If something triggers and you say, hey, make a new row on a Google Sheet, there's so much that this can do. If I told you everything, I'd completely overwhelm you. But the thing to keep in mind, if you're not happy with your system right now, the powerhouse of what this can do is it keeps you focused on getting it from point A to point Z so that you can make money. And it is speed to lead. That's the most important thing. You're not going to make money if you're not the first one getting to those leads because your competition is going to get to them. So I hope that this overview helps a little bit. We can definitely do a more detailed overview if this intrigues you to take the next step. So just let me know, guys. Thanks.